Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our Prussian Pride campaign. I am Xoolander, and I will be your host today. We are picking up right where we left off at part 1. We have humbled the Teutonic Order, we have restored our relations with Poland, we have taken Danzig, and we have also broken Pomerania. Now we're going to try and pick up where we left off and do a little bit more damage just everywhere, all around. Anywhere you can imagine, we're going to try and do damage there. Yes, alright, perfect. Sorry, I'm clicking through these, just kind of trying to get my bearings again. We are ahead of time on military technology, which is so refreshing after my England campaign. We are over what we need for our next Diplotech, but I'm very intentionally holding on to those because I want to get an idea. And the more Diplo points we hold on to, the faster we can get Diplo ideas. So, we do have some provincial unrest. That's from Hinterpommern. We have already courted it, I believe. Yeah, so we're just going to keep our men in that province. Are we at our force limit? Can we build any more men? We're at our force limit. That's fine. We're building boats, and I believe that's because we had a mission to do so? Yes. 75% of force limit. Fine. Build 2 boats. Oh, no. All right. We can accomplish that. Yes. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of strategy here before we just kind of set off blindly. Lüneburg is in a war with Brunswick and East Frisia. Brunswick, I believe... No, they're not our ally, but they want to be our ally. Magdeburg is a rival, but they have very, very powerful allies. Mecklenburg, likewise, is allied to the Teutonic Order. We have a truce with them for another 4 years. I kind of want to start, we kind of have to start expanding into Europe, into Germany proper. So we'd have to go for Lüneburg, which has a personal union over Anhalt, or Magdeburg, who is allied to basically everyone around them. So they're allied to Hesse over here, Saxony down here, and the Hansa up here. The Hansa is a truly terrifying force. They have a lot of base tax, which means they can field a lot of soldiers. They have huge trade power, important center of trade, Elbe estuary. Lübeck is an important center of trade. Bremen is the Weser estuary. So they have a lot of trade power, which means they get a lot of ships. Additionally, fun fact for you guys, I was watching for those of you who watch EU4 videos, I was watching the Shenrer and Arumba Tag Team Scotland video, and Arumba actually pointed out something very interesting that I didn't really know until I heard it. And that was that merchants add to your navy force limit. And the Hanseatic ideas, I don't know if we can see them. I don't think we can. But Hanseatic ideas give them a crap ton of merchants. So that also adds to the fact that they're just simply going to have a large navy. So if you're going to beat the Hansa, you either need to be a power like Sweden or Denmark or England, or frankly the Ottomans, or you need to march in on the land and be ready to overwhelm their land forces. Because if you can neutralize the usefulness of their navy, that's your only way around that. Saxony and Thuringia are not pleased with me. Saxony is a rival. Thuringia is outraged because of my aggressive expansion. Anhalt is threatened, but they're under a personal union, so it really doesn't matter. Lüneburg is friendly, but I want their territory. We do have a truce with Pomerania still, because we just took Hinterpommern from them, so that we have another truce with them for 5 years. We have a truce with the Teutonic Order for 4 years. I believe we haven't claimed Ostpreußen yet, which is something we should definitely do. In fact, I'm willing to withdraw my diplomat from Austria to begin fabricating on Ostpreußen, because we will need Ostpreußen to form... what's the word I'm looking for? To form Prussia. So I'm going to let the time start going, just ticking by a little bit more, and just kind of looking around, seeing what we can do here. Lüneburg is currently in a war, so I'm curious to see if I can't just fabricate... Actually, let's look at my heat map first real quick. Coalition map mode. Yeah, I'm close to being coalitioned by a lot of people. And that's primarily between Danzig and Pomerania. Or rather, Danzig and Hinterpommern. Which, by the way, for those of you who don't know German, this is actually Pomerania has some really funny province names. So they have Stettin, which is their capital. Vorpommern literally means front Pomerania, and Hinterpommern literally means behind Pomerania. Which is just really funny because they've named their front and back two provinces literally what they are. Which just, for me, is amusing because it's just how freaking literal can Germans get. I'm kind of tempted to go to war with Mecklenburg as soon as possible. Lüneburg is currently at war, so if I fabricate a claim on... Interesting. I'm gonna crank this up to 4. We're not doing much of anything. Actually, can we do 5? Would 5 be like nauseating to look at? A little bit. So we're gonna turn this back down to 4. Yes, I'm just sorry. I'm trying to think out loud as to where to go from here, because normally Brandenburg goes 2 directions. It goes after Pomeranian. It goes after the Teutonic Order. Oop! Death of a merchant. One of the greatest and richest men in Brandenburg has died without an heir. Oh, how sad. He was a well-known patron of religion and the arts. Yeah, we're just gonna take the money. We don't need advisors. We're gonna take his cash. Congratulations. Bohemia has some pretender rebels. Oh, I should also point out we are allied to Bohemia, Poland, and Austria. And the only reason I actually allied Bohemia, because they are rivaled to Poland and they will inevitably end up rivaled to Austria at some point, is because there was a coalition against me by Bohemia and Pomerania. But in a weird twist of fate, Bohemia was willing to take an alliance. And if you are allied to someone, you cannot coalition against them. So I just allied them. Okay, so Lüneburg is allied to Oldenburg and the Hansa. Magdeburg is allied to Hesse-Saxony and the Hansa. Damn, I'm just trying to look for a chink in someone's armor. Someone who has not been smart with their alliances. We are going to send this fleet into Lübeck because we just need to. We can either incorporate Danzig or take Vorpommern. I don't really like either of those missions. Or we can also improve relations with Lüneburg. I really don't want to because I want their territory. Saxony is allied to Bohemia and Magdeburg. Yeah, I really don't see any great options for us continuing to expand until the Hansa begins breaking some of their alliances. Or until they become embroiled in a war. Yeah, Lüneburg, Magdeburg, and Friesland. Yeah, Christ, they've just kind of blocked me in here, especially with them having taken over Anhalt. That was really what was killer, because normally Brandenburg can just come in and easily vassalize Anhalt. And rest assured, as soon as we take Mecklenburg, they will hate us. Not Mecklenburg. I mean, Mecklenburg will obviously not be happy with us, but the Hansa will absolutely hate us. All right, excellent. We can take National Ideas rank 4, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Perfect. We're now ahead of time on admin. Beautiful. And now we're going to take a Diplo idea. So I have one of 2 typical choices I like making. I either take diplomatic ideas because, as Brandenburg, I tend to run with a lot of diplomatic maneuvering. So I like having a bonus diplomat. I like having extra diplomatic relations. War exhaustion goes down, or reducing war exhaustion goes down. Improved relations efficiency goes up. Diplomatic reputation goes up. Province war score cost is actually really powerful. So what that means is that a province that would normally cost, say, 40 war score goes down by 20%. And diplomatic core, where diplotech cost goes down. And then this one is deceptively powerful. So it says lowered impact on stability from diplomatic actions. And normally you're sitting there looking at that going, okay, big freaking whoop. What the hell does that do? Normally, if you have a royal marriage with a nation, it costs a stability to break the royal marriage as well as costing you prestige. Once you've completed diplomatic ideas, however, it only costs -1 prestige to break a royal marriage with anyone at all. So it soon turns out that alliances and royal marriages tend to be about as easy to break as each other. So I tend to love diplomatic ideas. Plus, it lowers diplo technology cost by 10%. So that's just a lovely all-around type of idea. The other one I like is influence ideas. It boosts income from vassals, it lowers time to fabricate claims, it lowers diplo annex costs, it lowers aggressive expansion impact, raises diplo rep, gives you a diplo rep, or gives you a diplomatic relation, increases subject force limits, and lowers unjustified demands. Now, the last time I did a Prussia game was before they added influence ideas. And I really think influence ideas are actually better for a Brandenburg/Prussia game. Mostly because, we may take some vassals. I mean, that'll definitely be part of the equation. They won't be a major part of how we play, but they'll be a part of it. But this lowering aggressive expansion, lowering diplo annexation costs, boosting relations, I think this is just too good to pass up. So we're going to go ahead and take that. And this will give us an immediate benefit because income from vassals plus 25%. Danzig is making a crap ton of money. So if we go into here, vassals, 0.78 ducats a month. It's just incredible. And we're getting 64% tax efficiency. So I'm a big fan of that. I'm going to let that keep going. I don't see a reason to annex Danzig anytime soon. Have they fabricated any claims yet? Danzig, just do something. Do something with your life. Move out. Get a job. Don't move out, though, because seriously, if you left, I would be crushed. All right, we now have a claim on Ostpreußen, as we should, damn it. I mean, we're the frickin' Prussians. We need claims on Ostpreußen. I'm also going ahead and get a claim on Memel, because I can. Actually, no. No. We're going to get a claim on We're going to start fabricating claims basically on everybody around us. So we're going to get a claim on Mecklenburg, then we're going to get a claim on Altmark, then we're going to claim on Anhalt, and then Lüneburg. For those of you not familiar with the mechanics of the game, normally you can't. The reason I've skipped Marienburg is you cannot fabricate a claim on another power's capital if the capital is not isolated, or they're not a one-province minor. So, for example, if Ermland was gone, this province here, and Marienburg was alone, then I could fabricate a claim on Marienburg. But since there are other provinces of the nation attached to it, I cannot. Mecklenburg, on the other hand, because it's a one-province minor and therefore their capital is their only province, I can fabricate right away on. So that's just a fun little mechanical thing for those of you who are unfamiliar with how the game normally works. But since I'm surrounded by a bunch of one-province minors, I'm going to go ahead and fabricate wherever I can. I think I've already fabricated on Vorpommern. Yes, I've already fabricated on Vorpommern. They're only allied to Riga and East Frisia. Oh god, that will be such a catastrophic war when it happens. And I may just vassalize Pomerania right out. Because they probably have a lot of claims, actually. Yeah, they have claims on Maishit, they have claims on Denmark, they have claims on Danzig, they also have a claim on Ostpreußen. But basically what that allows me to do is it may cost more Diplo points over time, but because I have influence ideas, it allows me to kind of take advantage of that, and I can just force feed them places they have claims, and let them sort of incur the penalties for coring them, and then once we annex them, we'll just take it right out as a core. Pomerania has already declared war on Mecklenburg. This is a bold move. You know what we're going to do, though? We're going to help them out. Hey, Teutonic Order, would you love military... Yeah, they would take military access if we offered it to them. Riga, you can have military access. Right, because what Teutonic Order is currently going to do is they're just going to march up and take care of Riga. I will offer the Teutonic Order military access. How's that sound? Just let them kind of fight each other, go back and forth, whatever. But what I don't understand is why Pomerania is not... Because they had a numerical advantage and they had a commander, and there's no river between them. I don't understand why they didn't just march in and take Mecklenburg. But maybe I'm just an idiot. Alright, our truces should be running out soon. We have a truce that is running out against Mecklenburg next year. The Teutonic Order expires in 57. Pomerania expires in 56. So we have a couple that are running out. Not a lot, though. I'm going to continue fabricating. We're going to go down to Anhalt. And actually, no, we're going to make sure we have a claim on our rival first. Oh, it's not our rival. I thought we rivaled Magdeburg. Did we rival Magdeburg? I thought we rivaled Magdeburg. Who are our rivals? Saxony, Pomerania. Oh, much more sense. I must have been playing it. I must have. Oh, you know what it was? I had started recording a. Oh, hello. All right, let's do this first. Visit from some shady people. A few slightly shady-looking characters appeared at our court, offering their service to our king. They claim to be willing and able to do things that any proper ruler would never deign to do publicly. It's an offer. ... And so that would give a spy offense, which means that, you know, we'd be more effective at fabricating these claims. We can refuse, actually. I get it. It's a Godfather joke. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say we refuse. 10% isn't all that much, and we're not having problems with it anyway. And we can always use more prestige. Because unlike games where we're just exploring, you just don't magically conjure up prestige at all times. And now we've gained the government form war casus belli against Milan. We should force them to have the same government form as ours. Change the government form of the country. That happens typically because Milan will collapse and will change from a kingdom into an Ambrosian republic, which is kind of a garbage government form. But it happens to them, and I feel really bad every time it does. Oh, you know what? I may have just realized that I gave military access to the Teutons, or rather the Teutonic Order, to come through my territory, but vassals do not have to respect their overlords' military access grants. So I can give them all the military access I want. They have to come through Danzig, and Danzig won't allow them through. Which is fine. Good Danzig. Good boy. Way to know who our enemies are. But at the same time, that kind of spoils my own plan. But yeah, what I might end up doing is when Pomerania takes Mecklenburg, they're going to have a lot of base tax. That may draw them into war with the Hansa, which means the Hansa may be busy. I don't want the Hansa to take any more territory from Pomerania, so I kind of want to just full annex them. But, or not full annex, vassalize. But I kind of want to take advantage of the Hansa being distracted and at war with other people and go to war with a bunch of other... Ooh, the Hansa is at war. The Hansa is at war with Bremen and Gelre. But Bremen and Gelre are currently at war with the Hansa, Lüneburg, and Anhalt, which means Magdeburg didn't respect the call? Did Magdeburg ditch the call? No. I don't understand. I don't understand how they're not in that war, but maybe that's just me. Brunswick is also getting a massive amount of power in northwestern Germany. I'm not sure how comfortable I am with that fact. We have the Conquest Casus Belli on Magdeburg. Yay! Now we're going to fabricate on... this is 5 base tax. This is 3 base tax. We're going to fabricate on Wittenberg. Because A, it's a higher base tax, and B, it's the province belonging indirectly to our rival. And then after we finish fabricating, I'm going to throw out a whole bunch of embargoes. Oh, we were immediately discovered. Holy crap, did Denmark declare war on them? Danish conquest of Ostfriesland. So they're replying to a call to arms over here by their ally East Frisia. But they're immediately distracted because... Oh, Teutonic Order tried landing on their face, and that failed. But now they're going to cross a river. They do have a commander. Don't think that's going to go as well for them. Yeah, and Sweden and Norway are just going to get more and more reinforcements. It's not going well for them, needless to say. Pomerania miscalculated when that war should have taken place. So now Teutonic Order is going to take back Mecklenburg for Mecklenburg. Or are they? Yeah, no, they are. Border friction. We can either lose 100 Diplo power, absolutely not, or have Magdeburg get a little bit more pissed off with us. They're not that mad at us. It's mostly aggressive expansion. I'm just going to let them be pissed. Sorry. Time to fabricate claims, down by 33%, which means that all of these things will go much, much faster. A popular noble. Our Diplo rep goes up by 1. Huzzah. Good things are happening to us right now. We're in a good position. I don't like that there are now, you know, freaking an army of Scandinavians on my border. I don't like that they're all there, but hopefully Pomerania will be smart and peace out for something very, very weak. I don't think Denmark has any claims on their land. Yeah, Denmark doesn't have any claims there, so they're very unlikely to want anything here. All right, when do my truces run out? My truce with... I believe my truce with Mecklenburg just ran out. Yep, I don't have a truce with Mecklenburg anymore. Which means that I can draw Teutonic Order into a war. But their provinces will cost a lot more. Who are they allied to? Livonian Order. So if I made them a co-belligerent, all I would do is I would drag in the Livonian Order. Which is fine. Like, it's not fatal. Their army is larger than ours, but it's not a huge problem. I'm going to let you keep improving relations in... there. Go ahead and fabricate a claim in Anhalt. Oop, bourgeoisie request privileges. We're ahead of time on admin tech, are we not? We're at time, and we don't have enough Diplotech, so we'd go negative. I'm going to go ahead and deny the privileges. Normally, I like giving the bourgeoisie stuff, just because historically the bourgeoisie ended up doing a lot of great things for the advancement of Europe, and I try to play nations that are very forward-thinking in Europe. Oh, protect against the Teutonic Order. Very easy mission. We just build 1 troop anywhere. And the Teutonic Order is going to be losing men left and right, so that'll be easy to accomplish. Let's just go to Brandenburg, train a regiment. There you go. 55 days, and we'll be done with that mission. How's that sound? Sounds lovely. Yeah, Norway. Sweden's just sitting here taking attrition. How much attrition are they taking? Is there any way I can find out? Yeah, 1%. Not much, but enough. There we go, some 5 army tradition. You will find over time that army tradition is very important to the Prussians because A, it helps with discipline, and B, it helps get some great leaders. So with some great leaders plus the discipline from their own national ideas, if we go here, national ideas, if you complete Prussian ideas, we will also gain 7.5%. And that is just a lot. That's so many. So many, so much. Many much disciplines. We're going to fabricate on, I guess, on halt. Have we already fabricated? No, we haven't fabricated on halt yet. Perfect. I mean, like I said, I'm literally just fabricating on everything. Damn it, he was caught immediately, which is not helping our aggressive expansion problems. Yeah, Magdeburg's entered a coalition against us. That probably wasn't the smartest idea, but, you know, we'll learn to deal with it. What does the coalition against us look like now? Pomerania has accepted peace with Denmark. Pomerania will be forced to give Denmark 10%. Yeah, so they got off with war reparations and repayment. But they are still at war with the Teutonic Order and Mecklenburg. And the Teutonic Order has liberated Mecklenburg, and so Mecklenburg is rebuilding their military, and the Teutonic Order is occupying them. So Pomerania just totally miscalculated what the situation here was. Now, would anyone around me peacefully vassalize? Mecklenburg would not. We're not rich enough. Thuringia is not a candidate because they're under a personal union under Saxony. Anhalt doesn't count because they're in a personal union under Lüneburg, and Magdeburg definitely would not because A, they have hostile relations and they're outraged, and they have a massive base tax. We do want Magdeburg eventually because they do have a big base tax. Pomerania has entered in the word. Okay, great. Yeah, we do need to start flattering and soothing some people. Mecklenburg's revoked our military access. That's fine. Or rather, they've canceled the access we gave them. Well, the bright side is this coalition war simply will not fire because there is such power in our allies. Poland, Bohemia, and Austria are very likely to jump in on a defensive war to protect us because they value us, right? Everyone loves us. Love, love, and then they're either love or cordial. Yeah, they love. Yeah, let's do some yearly prestige. Why not? It's not that expensive. So that coalition is highly unlikely to fire unless a much larger power comes into play. I believe all of our truces with people who matter are expiring very soon. Yeah, so we're going to have the Teutonic Order should lapse now. No? Yes? Maybe next month. Maybe it means at the end of the month it goes away. Yep. Alright, so now we have no truces with anybody, and yeah, first thing they do is they enter into the coalition against us. Okay, so we maybe shouldn't go to war right now. Now it's going to be a very tentative game of Diplo improvement. Let's check our heat map again. Yeah, that's currently the coalition against us. It's not that scary, but it's scary enough that we should pay attention to it. So I'm going to be improving relations with Magdeburg first. It won't do much good to improve relations with Pomerania and the Teutonic Order, but it'll help a little bit. We should improve relations with Thuringia, definitely, just because they're outraged. They can't do much, but if they get outraged enough, Saxony may see that as a reason for them to also join the coalition. And I don't want these 4 provinces on my ass as well. Unhappiness among merchants. We can either lose 50 Diplo power or lose 2.5... Oh, no. Absolutely not. My rule, and I suggest this to you very strongly, is never take any decision that loses mercantilism. And that sounds like a very firm line in the sand, because it is. Do not ever give up mercantilism. Now, the only problem is, these are basically the 3 people I was planning on going to war with. And now if I go to war with any of them, I have to go to war with all 3 of them. Oh, yes. Literally could not have worked out any better for me. So I'm immediately going to beeline my men over to Ostpreußen. Get my men camping out there. The Teutonic Order, or the Mecklenburg has abandoned that call. I'm going to send these guys back and occupy Marienburg. And we squished their stack, didn't even suffer a casualty, and wiped out a force 2 times larger than us. Oh, happy days are here again. Select the army. We don't need this many horses in it, so we're going to take one of the horsemen and go over to Marienburg and help siege down there. Because Poland only wants Ermland, so we're just going to siege up these 2 provinces. And this is kind of... Poland literally could not have timed this any better for us. Actually, also, we should have a claim on Memel, don't we? We didn't claim Memel. That was a mistake, but we shall endure. Do we beat them there? We don't beat them there. And what that means is that they're probably not going to surrender the siege to us. Yeah, they're not going to give up the siege to us. That's fine. So what that means is I'm just going to take my men and go home. Because I don't want to suffer any more attrition than I absolutely have to. And I consider taking at least control of Marienburg and Ostpreußen as have to. What this also means is because of this truce firing, they can't join the coalition against me. I don't believe I may be entirely incorrect about that, and I apologize if I am. Yes, I know, I'm improving relations with a rival who hates us by -200, but I swear, I'm just trying to get them to back out of the coalition. That's all I want. Really, all we need to accomplish is we need to take Ostpreußen. If we can occupy Ostpreußen, we should be golden. Which should be aided by the fact that we're about to tick over into military tech level 5. Can we actually, how much were we making with? 1.87. I'm kind of tempted to spring for a military advisor. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we're making 0.71 per month, but now we're also making a lot more military points, which will help us stay ahead of time. And as much as I love staying ahead of time, I value staying ahead on military tech above all else. Oh, Mecklenburg broke their alliance. Oh, do I dare? I don't think I can. I don't think I have the aggressive expansion leeway to do that right now. Not without some more ideas, at least. Because what's the third idea? Diplomatic annexation goes down by 25%. I think I want to take that before we try and incorporate Danzig. That will be very important. Aggressive expansion is 25 with them. What's my aggressive expansion look like, actually? 44 with them. 24 with them. 50. Only 10. Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to spread the love at the moment. I'm trying to keep people off of my ass. The Hansa is actually, if they didn't love us, they would probably be mad at us. I'm actually going to withdraw the guy from Pomerania because there's no way, no how he's going to quit the coalition. I'm going to improve relations with the Hansa because they do love us, and I want them to keep loving us as long as humanly possible. Ostpreußen is falling very nicely. As is Marienburg, actually. Because, you know, despite the fact that it's their capital and they have most of their coast blockaded themselves, I'm kind of impressed at how well our sieges are doing. I also wish there was a way you could, you know, tell your vassal ships, like, hey, come out and join me because you can free your own port and I'm going to save you. But, because together, I think we could beat their fleet. Oh, they're leaving. Is our vassal chasing them? If our vassal is chasing them, I will help our vassal. There we go. Should be winning. I don't normally have this much sentimentality for my vassals, but like hell am I just going to let my vassals die. Especially if it's... I'm going to take Galloglass Infantry. I love the offensive nature of it. That's just all I'm deciding on it based on there. But yeah, I'm not normally sentimental about protecting my vassals, but with a vassal as large and important as Danzig, like hell am I going to let them just walk away and try and kill my fleet. We have not lost a single ship yet. Are you kidding me? We didn't lose a single vessel? I'm so impressed with us. 50 Diplo power, sure. Still sieging Marienburg. Poland and Lithuania are now just sieging the crap out of... oh, crap. Alright, this is actually a cool event. A winter siege. A siege dragging on over winter is always costly and best avoided completely. This winter, I don't know what this winter is because it, you know, has not been winter, has been particularly harsh, and one of our sieges has seen both equipment and soldiers freezing. At this rate, we'll have to... Sorry, my timer's going off. I got distracted. At this rate, we'll either have to recuperate and wait out the winter or send in more men, many of whom are likely to die from cold and starvation. How many are we willing to sacrifice to take this one city? I'm going to bide our time. We don't need 5 prestige, and I don't want to lose 2,000 manpower. And the defenders will take... Poland accepted peace. Took a whole bunch of land, but didn't give us a damn thing. But they did give us one blessing. We can now fabricate on Marienburg, and we have a timer that we have a peace timer that runs out at the same time. So basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to bide my time, fabricate on Marienburg, and take these 2 provinces as soon as the truce expires. Poland, however, is going to take a decent amount of aggressive expansion from somebody, hopefully. Somebody's got to be pissed at this. But anyway, as I said, my timer did run off. We're just going to take this real quick. And I will call this an end to the video here. Thank you guys very much for tuning in so far. In the land of Brandenburg, we have won yet another war, and Poland has, oddly enough, set us up for a very perfect attack on the Teutonic Order next time around. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. I shall see you next time. Bye-bye.